It started with a cheap listing. A cozy-looking Airbnb in a small town where my girlfriend Emma and I planned to stay for a few days while visiting her sister. The photos online made it look charming. Hardwood floors, warm yellow lighting, a wraparound porch that felt like something out of a storybook. But when we arrived, the place didn't feel like the pictures. The paint on the porch was peeling, the wood creaked under our steps, and the surrounding woods seemed darker, heavier, like they were swallowing the house whole. And then there was the host. His name was Alan. He greeted us before we even got out of the car, as if he'd been waiting. Just standing on the porch, hands folded neatly, eyes locked on us. He was in his late 50s, with thin grey hair combed too carefully across his head, and clothes that looked ironed to perfection. He smiled, but it was the kind of smile that didn't touch his eyes. The tour he gave us was quick, but there was one detail that stuck out. Near the kitchen was a locked basement door, sealed with a heavy padlock. Alan tapped it with his finger and said firmly, "This area is off limits, storage only." His smile faded when he said it. There was no friendliness in his voice, just command. Then he left, disappearing into the night like he hadn't been there at all. At first, everything was fine. Emma and I unpacked, made tea, and tried to relax. But that first night, as we lay in bed, I heard a faint thud from somewhere below us. It was distant, dull, almost like something heavy dropping onto concrete. I wanted to believe it was just the house settling, but when I looked at Emma, she had already heard it too. The next day, we brushed it off. We explored the town, met her sister, and tried to forget about it. But when we came back that night, the silence of the house felt oppressive. There were no cars, no neighbours nearby, no distant traffic, just the suffocating quiet of the woods. And then around 2 a.m. came the sound. Dragging. A long, slow dragging noise from beneath us, like something heavy being pulled across the basement floor. It would stop for a few seconds, then start again, each time closer to the stairs. I froze at the top of the staircase, the dogless silence of the house pressing against my ears. I strained to listen, and that's when I realized I could hear breathing. Not ours, someone else's. Deep, steady breathing drifting up from the basement. Emma whispered, "He said he wouldn't come back during our stay." Her voice trembled. We stayed awake until dawn, listening. By the third day, things got worse. We started noticing little details, the faint smell of damp air and something sour seeping from the locked basement door. A chair slightly moved in the living room when we returned from town, the bathroom light flickering on its own. That night, it was footsteps. Slow, measured footsteps moving beneath us in the basement. Then silence. Then footsteps again, this time stopping directly under our bedroom. Emma clutched my arm, whispering that she thought she heard breathing again. Closer now, almost as if someone was listening, waiting for us to make a sound. I barely held it together. Every instinct told me to run, but exhaustion and fear pinned me in place until morning. By the fourth night, the fear had become unbearable. Emma was brushing her hair when she stopped suddenly and asked, "Does that smoke detector look strange to you?" I looked up. At first it seemed normal, but then I noticed a tiny black dot in the center. A pinhole. A camera. I climbed onto the bed, unscrewed the detector, and inside was a small hidden camera, its green light blinking at me. My stomach dropped. We tore through the room and found another one inside the wall near the dresser mirror, both pointed directly at the bed. That was it. We didn't bother packing neatly. We threw our things into bags and ran. At the nearest gas station, we called the police. 2 officers came with us back to the house. The front door was unlocked. When we showed them the cameras, they took them as evidence. Then we told them about the basement. The padlock was gone. The door stood wide open, the darkness yawning below like a mouth. The officers went down first. Moments later, we heard shouting, movement, the kind of urgent commotion that makes your blood run cold. When they called us down, I didn't want to go, but Emma gripped my hand and we followed. And that's when we saw him. Alan. Our host. He hadn't left at all. He was hiding in a closet in the basement, crouched behind a small monitor that was wired to the hidden cameras. The police pulled him out, cuffed him, and led him upstairs. The closet reeked of sweat and something metallic. Inside, there were snacks, water bottles, and a sleeping bag. He'd been living down there, watching us. He had been in the house the entire time. Alan was arrested on the spot. Later, we learned he was charged with trespassing and invasion of privacy. Airbnb quietly offered us a voucher as compensation, as if money could erase what happened. But no voucher could erase the feeling of being watched. No apology could change the memory of those dragging sounds at night, the footsteps beneath the floor, the slow, steady breathing. Emma and I haven't stayed in an Airbnb since. Hotels might not be perfect, but at least when I close the door, I don't have to wonder if the host is hiding in the basement, waiting for me in the dark. ये दूसरा हिस्सा भी इतना